I've played every survival game you can imagine for the last decade, and there's been a lot of good and a lot of bad. So today I narrowed down hundreds of survival games to just 10 that I think are life-changing and maybe even perfect. I can guarantee you these games will change your life. Now let's find out why I think these games are the best. At number 10, it's Palworld. This is easily the most underrated survival game I've ever played. If you don't know anything about Palworld, it is an open world survival game. Now the most unique thing about this game is these guys right here, the pals. Now it's basically Pokemon, they've been sued for this and all, but I think this game is very unique and honestly might be one of my favorites. Palworld gives you everything you need from a survival game: chaotic, fun, and a really deep crafting system. When you go to the later boss battles in this game, the fights can drag on for ages. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, this is basically Pokemon with guns. Now while the combat is fluent and very nice to control, my favorite thing about this game is using the pals that have unique weapons and unique abilities that you can then use in these boss fights to get some even better loot. One of my favorite things about survival games is building. If your survival game has good building system, I love your game. So building houses is very simple and very quick to do, which I personally love. And what really makes it stand out is that it blends all these genres together just so well. One moment you're just farming away in your base, just getting your pals to work for you, and then the next moment you're being stormed and attacked by a bunch of pals, and then losing everything because you're not strong enough for that. So if you haven't played the most underrated survival game before, I would definitely recommend trying it out. This is kind of the game you only plan about spending an hour on, but then you stay up the entire night playing it. Now at the number 9 spot we have The Forest, the most terrifying survival experience I've ever had. In this game you crash land on this remote island and your son is taken away from you just the second you crash. And from that moment on, it is just pure survival. You have to gather resources, build shelter, a lot like these other survival games, but this game is very brutal. And of course in The Forest you're not by yourself, you're being stalked by these intelligent cannibals that get stronger day by day. This game blends survival mechanics along with horror, so this makes for a very gripping experience. I personally love the crafting system in this game. It is very grindy, you have to knock down a lot of trees just to make a log cabin, but that's realistic, so I don't mind that at all. The crafting, combat, and base building all come together in this nice little package, and this world honestly just always keeps you on edge. Now what makes The Forest stand out to make it into the number 9 spot? The atmosphere. You just can't beat the horror of this game. You're walking down the forest and then there's a cannibal up in the tree right next to you. And also the silence at night just feels like a warning, like something is ready to grab you at any moment. The Forest is incredibly immersive. For me, it was the first survival game that made it feel really personal and like I was actually in that scenario fighting for my life. I wasn't just surviving for myself, I was looking out for my son and like actually felt like there was going to be a cannibal outside my window. I felt like I was inclined to unravel this mystery and survive as long as I possibly could. So overall The Forest deserves the number 9 spot, but you know what's even more brutal? Rust. Rust is a survival game in its most brutal form, where the real danger isn't the world, it's actually the other players in there. You spawn in with nothing but a torch and a rock, and from that moment on you are racing to survive because oh my god, these players have no mercy in this game. You have to chop trees, mine ore as much as you possibly can without getting shot in the back of the head. Rust is a very harsh PvP survival game, where betrayal is very common. You always have to keep your eye on your back in this game. You cannot trust anyone, especially if you hear this man's name, Stimpy. You are dead. What makes Rust stand out from all these other games is its intensity, along with the amazing but also terrible player interactions. So overall, that's why Rust is at the number 8 spot. Now while in Rust you're very weak, let's look at a game where you can become very strong. It's Ark Survival Evolved. Very similar to Rust, you wake up on a mysterious island where you don't know anything, but instead of other players annoying you from the rip, you have to worry about dinosaurs. It starts with punching a few trees and crafting, but then it quickly evolves into trying to tame the T-Rex. But I can guarantee you your first experience will be you running away from all the different dinosaurs coming out to eat your ass. And maybe also a player with a rocket launcher on the back of a Triceratops. So one of my favorite things about Ark is that you start off with nothing, you're primitive, but then you can become very futuristic and very strong. And also, don't lie, it's pretty cool commanding an entire team of dinosaurs. Now Ark definitely isn't perfect with its servers, it's very messy and laggy, but once you get a good server, it feels like an amazing experience. So overall, that's why Ark deserves the number 7 spot. Now all these survival games I've talked about have been on the ground, but what if we look up into space? It's No Man's Sky. This game went from one of gaming's biggest letdowns to one of the best games ever. Now this is a space survival game where you explore trillions of galaxies. It really is never ending. Just like everything else, you gather resources, get your gear together, maybe build a few bases and upgrade your ship, and also while you're at that, uncover some ancient mysteries. What makes No Man's Sky stand out from all these other games is the sheer scale of everything. Like, it is ginormous. You can truly explore your wonders from the real life space into this game. I don't like to admit it now, but I've spent so much time in my life just looking at all the different planets in this universe. Even though I've only explored probably 0.1% of them. Now let's get into the top 5 best survival games you can ever play. At the number 5 spot, we have Project Zomboid. Project Zomboid doesn't ask if you'll die. It tells you you're gonna die. This game is set in a post-apocalyptic version of Kentucky. It shows the realistic version of survival. Not very high action, just slow, tense, and eerie. You have to manage everything in this game. Your hunger, thirst, infection, depression, every single thing you can think of. If you manage even one mistake, you will have a slow and painful death. Not if you'll die, but when you do die, you have no other lives. That's it, just that one. Project Zomboid stands out in many ways, but honestly the realism in this game is almost unmatched, except for one of the games in this list. It's not about having fun and killing these zombies, it's about trying to avoid them and try to actually survive. For me, this game changed everything I knew about survival game mechanics. I wasn't playing the game to win, I was playing the game to tell a story. The slow build up, the constant dread, the constant silence, it really does stick with you. So that's why Project Zomboid is the 5th best game of all time. But what about the 4th? It's Terraria. This game looks simple, but it's one of the deepest survival games you can possibly play. This isn't just a survival game, it's more of an RPG. The world is randomly generated. You go from mining down a couple of trees to fighting the Eye of Cthulhu. The exploration in this game is unmatched. Crafting powerful gear, finding these amazing cool bosses, exploring underground biomes, and slowly transforming your little shack into a massive fortress. What makes Terraria stand out from all these different games is the constant progression and exploration. Every time you dig just a little bit deeper, you find a completely new biome. For me, Terraria is that comfort game that I just always go back to and always have a blast on. There's kind of a magic in this game, and if you've never played this game before, please try it right now. Just prepare for whatever madness is going to get thrown your way. Now, Terraria is the 4th best survival game in my opinion, but let's get to the top 3. No survival game is going to beat this top 3 right now. These are the 3 best survival games ever made. But real quickly before I get into the top 3, if you're enjoying the video, if you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. These videos take a very long time to make, so I'd appreciate if you could just press that subscribe. Thank you for watching in the first place. Let's get to the top 3. Now in the big number 3 spot, we have one of the best survival games ever made. It's Subnautica. Subnautica turns the ocean into one of the most beautiful, but also terrifying places in the entire world. In this game, you crash land on an alien planet, and you have to survive by digging very deep into the water, and finding out the secrets this world has to offer. The thing you have to worry about in this game is what's lurking on down below. Leviathans, one of the most scariest things I've ever experienced in any survival game, or any game ever. But these big scary creatures wouldn't be anything without a good atmosphere, which Subnautica definitely nailed down. The overall world is actually very peaceful and very calm, but you always feel on edge. You always feel very eerie, like there's someone watching you, or something watching you. It's peaceful one moment and then absolutely horrifying the next. There's a mix of beauty and fear every single time you go to leave your base. Now, let's go to number 2. You're probably wondering why you haven't heard it yet. It's because it's the 2nd best survival game ever made. It's Minecraft. Minecraft isn't just a survival game, it's the survival game. You wake up in a blocky, endless world with nothing but your fists. Whether you're gathering resources, mining, or building your house, Minecraft gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. Minecraft stands out in many ways. It's basically the mother of all survival games. Obviously, the best thing about Minecraft is that your creativity has no limit. No 2 worlds are the same. Every single player from 9 to 90 has a different story to be told. Minecraft is a very emotional game for me because I've been playing this since I was about 4. I've really grown up playing this game, and now obviously when I'm older I had to play with all these mods and all to make it a bit more interesting, but honestly, vanilla Minecraft is great as well. Just if you add the mods, it just makes it a bit better. Minecraft is one of those few games that I can say is more than a game. It's a canvas for adventure and survival. Now, we've all been waiting for it. Minecraft is the 2nd best game, but the number 1 best game of all time in my opinion is Dayz. That's right, Dayz is the rawest, most unforgiving survival experience I've ever had, and is my personal favorite. You can play in multiple maps, but the most well-known one is Terraria. You spawn in with nothing but rags and a glow stick, really nothing to help you. From there, it's up to you to scavenge, fight, and survive. You have to worry about zombies, Mother Nature, and the worst thing of all, other players. Every encounter you have can mean death, betrayal, or survival. That's what makes Dayz stand out from every other game I've played. The start of this is one of the hardest games I've ever played. I spent so many hours just trying to figure out how to make a fireplace. You really feel like a caveman when you start this game. The main thing about Dayz is the tension. No game I've ever played has ever matched the tension of Dayz. There's nothing scripted in this game, it's all real. real. For me, Dayz isn't just a game, it's actually a very big social experiment. It really shows that if this was going to happen in real life, humans would really be the worst of all. It taught me how cruel and kind humans can really be. So that's why Dayz is the best game I've ever played, and nothing can ever match it. No game has ever made me feel survival as good as Dayz. Now that's my personal top 10 survival games of all time. Let me know down below if you agree with me or not. I want you to do me a favor, I want you to comment down your top 10 survival games of all time, and I'll comment down to let you know what I think about it. Thank you for watching the entire video, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.